Alright, hi everyone. This is a step-by-step walkthrough on how to install the Desire DL NAND ROM by Dandiest. So after you've downloaded everything, run the Gparted program. So this is going to be booting off the CD. You download it, it's an ISO, burn it to CD, boot up from the CD. And I'll go through step by step just so that you can actually see what the partitions are supposed to look like if you want to go down the route of having the 3 partitions with the swap file. So yeah, it's just booting up. I'll just leave it run through the whole process so you see step by step all the way through. So I just go default, which language, default is English for me, so I just leave that. And then default for the graphical environment, you don't really need high res. Okay, so it'll boot up the. So this is the Gparted graphical user interface. It's just scanning all the partitions and drives. So this is the hard drive on the laptop. So if you go up to the top right here, you'll see that it's the 500 gig hard drive. So make sure you click that and select your SD card. You don't want to be going through and formatting your hard drive. So this is just a spare 2 gig SD card that I've got. So I'm just using this as an example. So at the moment, the whole thing, it's one FAT32 partition. So what we want to do is select the partition, go resize and move, and then it's got free space preceding, the new size, and then free space following. So in the following, we want to put in there 1536, and then if you click in the new space, it'll go and you can see it's resized that partition. So then you'll see it's got 400 meg left of the FAT32 because it's a 2 gig drive, and then we go click resize partition, and then you click apply. It's going to go and create that partition. It's done. Go close. It's going to rescan the partitions. So that's done. Click the new partition and then go new, and then in here you'll be able to tell it what kind of format. So we want ext4, and then just go and leave it as primary and go add, and then go apply. So it's creating that new ext4 file system. Doesn't take very long with 1.5 gig partitions, and just let it run. Alright, done. So we go close. Now it's going to rescan the partitions. Now we want to just basically do the same thing again, except in the new 1.5 gig partition here. Once it's scanning, it finishes scanning. Yep, just highlight it. Go resize and move. Again, in the free space following, put in there 512. Just click in there. You can see it created that. Resize, move, apply, close. Now it's going to rescan the partitions. Alright, so now we highlight that, go new, ext4 partition, go add, and then apply. Okay, done. It's going to let it search the partitions again, but that's it for Gparted. It's actually not that difficult, but I thought it'd just help a lot of people if you could actually physically see what it's like. So obviously if you had a bigger SD card, this FAT32 partition there would be a lot bigger. This is just to show as an example, but they're the 2 hidden partitions that the NAND drive will use. So done, that bit is done. All we need to do now is boot up into Windows, leave your SD card in the computer. One little step before we can take it out and put into our HD2. Alright, so that's done. Close it down. Double click that. And reboot. Okay, be back to show you the rest in a few seconds. Alright, we're back, and after you've done the partition with gpartition, boot up your computer again and go to where you've extracted the ROM, the Desire DL ROM. So I've got here, this is where I extracted it. This is version 3.5. So what you want to do is open up the config.txt file in there, or the other option is to open up the config.txt.NAND and rename it as the config.txt file. But if there's one already, just open that one up. This one is the original 3.3, you can say, but all of the versions are the same. The only thing to do in here is go in there and look for GPS zone, and it's defaulted to US. I've changed it to AU, Australia, where I'm from. So that's it, close that down. Then go into the SD card, so this is the blank SD card. Create a folder, right, new folder, call it Desire_DL, right, and then go back to copy that config file, just the config file, copy, put into under there, paste it there, and that's it. Now once you've done that, we can close it all up, take the SD card out, put it back into your HD2 phone, and then that's the next step is to actually go and NAND it, which I'll bring up shortly. Alright, I'll be right. Alright, so you've put the SD card back into the phone. What we're going to do now is turn it on and then hold down the power button so that it'll load the this MAGLDR options. There you go. You see those options. So what we want to do is now you want to scroll down using the volume key, the button, down to USB flasher. On version 1.1.3 of this loader, it's number 5. Here it says USB flasher. Alright, and then hit the phone button on the left here. On the European versions, there's no red or green, but just a phone button. So if you select that, what it will say is that it's waiting for USB. Now all you need to do is plug it into your computer and then run the install file that was downloaded and extracted. Okay, so I'll bring that up in a second. Okay, so I've plugged it into the computer. Go to your folder on your computer where you extracted the ROM. Run install. If you do have if you're running this on Windows XP and you get an error, just make sure you go into ActiveSync and either disable ActiveSync, or you have to go in if you want to. Well, I'm assuming you're going to get rid of ActiveSync if you're running this NAND, but otherwise you have to disable the USB connection under ActiveSync for it to finish. So this is basically it. I'm not going to run through this whole thing because I've already done it on my phone, but you just go next, follow it through, it'll flash. It only takes a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes I think it was, and then you'll see your phone reboot and you'll see it booting up via NAND. And obviously the first time it boots up, it'll take quite a while. Just let it finish. Even when the screen comes up, don't start playing with it yet. Give it another minute or so, or two, and then log in and then go through the install process. Once you've done that, don't go and install anything yet. Boot it at least one more time. I did it 3 or 4 times just to be sure. Every time you boot it, leave it run for about 30 seconds so it finishes initializing everything in the background. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You're good to go. Alright, well, I hope that helps everyone. If there's any questions, feel free to comment. Thanks very much.